Hey everybody, Brooks from Drag here. Welcome back to the channel. Update on my Tesla Model S Plaid. The car is actually done. I saw pictures of it rolling out of the Fremont factory. It is on its way to South Florida and I should have it in just a couple days. Before I pick it up, I actually got to head up to Tennessee, hit up Tail of the Dragon to do some unfinished business with the McLaren EVO. So if you want to see what's going on, in the meantime, make sure you follow me on Instagram, dragtimescom, and you'll see what we're doing with the McLaren EVO around Tail of the Dragon and the foothills. So as I've been waiting for my Tesla Model S Plaid, I've been getting a ton of DMs, instant messages, emails, and a lot of videos and data from people who've already got their cars taking out and doing all kinds of draggy testing down the drag strip and all kinds of cool stuff. I'm curious about how this kind of lines up against some of the other cars I've driven, and I've seen data all over the place. So while I wait for my Tesla Model S, I wanted to overlay and see how it compares against all the cars in my garage. Now, what I've also been very curious about is, has Tesla solved the performance degradation regarding state of charge in the battery and repeatability of performance? So in this video, I actually have performance tests, really good tests at almost 100% of state of charge from the YouTube channel Situation Plaid. Make sure you guys check these out. He's doing a ton of really cool tests. I'll put a link down in the description. And then from another friend of mine, Diesel, who actually ran his car on the Draggy at 50% state of charge. So in this video, I'm going to show you the difference between 100% and 50%. Of course, yeah, it's two different cars, two different drivers, two different streets, but it should still give you a good idea what kind of performance you get at the top of the charge and then mid-range, and just see how it's going to stack up against other cars. So in this video, I'm going to overlay the Tesla Model S Plaid against, 765LT, SF90, the EVO, Taycan Turbo S, and even, wait for this one, the Bugatti Chiron. All right, so let's get started. Let's watch the run by itself. Let's see what it goes. Just a couple of notes here. Situation Plaid said he didn't even launch the car. He just stabbed it on the throttle. So this is without cheetah mode on the street. Ripped off 0 to 60, 2.4, which is probably like 2.1 with the 1 foot rollout. 60 to 130, 4.5 seconds. That's better than Motor Trend got. They got 4.7. 100 150 keeps pulling just as hard. 4.45 seconds, 100 150. And then astoundingly, quarter mile came in at 9.3 at over 152 miles an hour. So let's just think about those numbers. The previous king of the drag strip was actually my McLaren 765LT running 9.36, I think, down the quarter mile at a prepped drag strip. And that's doing 60 to 130 of a best time of 4.68. And I think 4.9 from 100 to 150. So, wow, wait till we get 765 lined up side by side against the Plaid. I mean, clearly the numbers show that the Plaid's gonna not only beat it to the quarter mile or match it, but continue to pull away even on the top end. Let's get started. I'm gonna use these runs which are at close to 100%, and at the end of the video I'll show you what the car runs at 50%. First up, let's compare it against the Ferrari SF90 Stradale, which I do have coming to my garage. This was a test I did on the street in Puerto Rico. I'm trying to keep all these cars, these comparisons on the street testing to keep it in kind of similar conditions. So let's run it and see what it looks like. We got quarter mile 9.39, quarter mile on the SF90 was 9.64. That was the previous best I've gotten on this in a street car stock form in the quarter mile. And 60 to 130, of course, 4.51 compared to 5.18, and 100 and 150, 4.4 versus 5.32. The Tesla's clearly going to walk by the Ferrari, even when they both have 1,000 horsepower, and the Tesla probably weighs 1,000 pounds more. So where does the physics line up in all this for power to weight? Does not having a transmission make that big of a deal? Maybe so. Or maybe the Tesla's making more power than they say. All right, next up, let's compare it against 765LT. This is actually my best 765LT run on the street. right, so there you go. Feel free to pause the video as these comparisons are running and see the mile per hour difference. It's pretty cool to see like where the Tesla is, where the McLaren is, where the Ferrari is, and where these other cars are going to be at any given point of time. But yeah, I mean, the Tesla here just 4.5 versus 5.1. And then from 100, 150, the 765 on this run is 5.42. And, you know, the Plaid's at 4.45. Now, I will mention that I did have gotten better numbers at the drag strip in the 765 LT. I think my best run, 60 to 130, is 4.69 in the 765 LT, and maybe 4.8 from 100, 150. But even in those great conditions, great weather, at the drag strip, no spinning, Tesla's still ahead of it. Next up, let's go on to the Huracan EVO. Comparing against the EVO, I mean, it's almost not even fair. I gotta be honest, you know, the Huracan EVO, Lamborghini's gotta do something because they are clearly falling way behind. I mean, you got Ferrari that is beating it with the F8, now the hybridization with the SF90, and the EVO just, you know, they gotta do something. It's getting left way, way behind. I'm actually gonna have the quickest car from each brand in my garage. The EVO, quickest Lamborghini down the quarter mile. 765 LT, quickest McLaren down the quarter mile. SF90 will be the quickest Ferrari, running 9.5 down the quarter mile. And the Tesla apparently is going to beat them all. I'm thinking I'm going to do a YouTube call out at the drag strip. We'll do like a couple $100 entry fee. And, you know, any stock car that can come out and beat the Tesla Plaids, maybe we'll get 2 or 3 Plaid Model S's out there, would get a prize. I guess it's possible, you know, with a good reaction time and in the Ferrari or in a 765 LT, you could beat it. So let me know what you guys think. Would you guys be interested in seeing YouTube call out trying to beat the Plaid Model S? Let me know, comment below. Anyways, on looking at the EVO numbers, it's not even fair. 6130 comes in at 7.4, and you know, that car is so slow, you're not even getting to 150 miles an hour. It just takes too long to get there. Next up, of course, we got to compare it against the Taycan Turbo S. That is the previous electric car, king of the drag strip, king of acceleration, and why not compare it against what Tesla's got out? Let's see what it runs. I got him! So yeah, I mean, the Taycan's pretty much the same speed as the EVO. This is not going to be a close race. So I'm hoping I can still get a Taycan owner to come out and do the race anyways for that rematch of electric car shootouts. And finally, why not compare it against the Bugatti Chiron? So over $3.5 million, 1,500 horsepower. I actually do have draggy tests on this car that we did with Wheels Boutique back in the day. And, well, let's roll it and check it out. So Chiron, 5.05, 60 to 130. That was actually with 2 people in the car, so I can do better. I will make a note that I did do 4.7 seconds in the Chiron 60 to 130 at the drag strip, 1 person in the car. That was done with a V-Box, so I don't have video, so it's kind of boring just to throw up a number. I'd rather compare and watch them accelerate side by side to see what it might look like if these 2 cars actually raced. It's crazy. I made a comment or made a post on Instagram, possibly the Model S keeping up with the Chiron from 0 to maybe 160 miles an hour. And wow, that thread went downhill really fast. There is so much hate on each side, so much controversy that it's just crazy. The threads go down here really quick. But nevertheless, I think if you raced a Chiron and a Tesla Model S Plaid from 0 to the top speed, which is currently 163 miles an hour on the Tesla until they do some more validation, unlock 200 miles an hour, that you'll be neck and neck. And I actually think the Plaid would be ahead 260 miles an hour. Yes, later on after 160, 200, 260, of course the Chiron's going to pull ahead. But for all practical purposes, for a lot less money, you get those G-forces, you get those feelings, you get that acceleration from a Tesla. You don't need a crazy expensive Chiron. Finally, let's show my friend Diesel's car. He picked up his car actually yesterday and sent me this test immediately. He was super excited about getting the car. He didn't get a chance to charge it all the way up, but did this run on the street at 50% state of charge. Let's see what it did.
$30, $60, $130, quarter mile.
He actually had a better launch than Situation Plaid, 0 to 60, 2.38, launching off the side of a road, not even a great surface. With the 1 foot roll that comes out to 0 to 60, 2.1 seconds. And as you can see at 50%, still runs 9.5 in the quarter mile at over 146 miles an hour. So I'm not gonna overlay all the data again, but pretty much, even at 50%, it's going to beat all the cars on the street that I just put up. So, wow, even at 50%, still fast. Obviously, when I get my car, I'll do some more direct comparisons, same stretch of road, state of charge differences, and we'll get a better idea of how the Tesla handles multiple runs down the quarter mile and where the performance starts to drop off as the state of charge decreases. So let me know in the comments below, what do you think of Tesla Plaid Model S? I think it's pretty crazy fast. This is a huge, huge jump in performance. I mean, it's trapping in the 8th mile what the old Model S was pretty much trapping in the quarter mile. And to understand that, you just have to ride in the car and experience it. So I cannot wait to get my car in a few days. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. It really helps the video and the channel. And if you want to see what's coming up with SF90 coming to the garage, Plaid Model S, and maybe a YouTube call out racing all these different cars, hit that subscribe button and you'll be notified. Thanks for watching.